What's up, y'all? It's Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be taking a little deeper dive into college football 25, talking about some pre-snap chess matches, some stuff in detail that I think is going to make the skill gap in this game bigger than we have ever seen before. Now, we're going to be talking about a lot of the things that they had talked about with the gameplay deep dive that weren't necessarily in the gameplay trailer. Obviously, everybody saw the gameplay trailer. Let's first talk about pre-snap alignment, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. When you go back to NCAA Football 14, it was so easy to tell whether the opponent or the defense was in man or zone coverage. It was so easy to tell whether there was a safety or a corner blitz coming because pre-snap they would come up and kind of give it away. So that's one thing I like that I do see in the blog here is that they are giving players the ability to disguise your coverages with smart AI as well as user control. It won't be nearly as easy for the offense to know what coverage the defense is in or whether there's a blitz coming. In play calls specifically, you can use your right stick to decide what you do want to show. So for example, if you want to show a cover 4, but in reality you're not in that, you can do that. You can show a disguised blitz if you're not blitzing. All of those types of things pre-snap you can do. Let's talk about your safeties for a second. You can show a 1 high safety when in reality you are in a cover 2. You can disguise everything. But it's not just that simple. If a defensive back has a low composure rating, there's a high risk he might mess up the disguised look. So don't necessarily always overcomplicate situations because it could be costly in the end. For me, when I'm reading through this is super important because it was one reason I didn't necessarily love NCAA Football 14, especially in the offline modes. You knew exactly what coverage the defense was in. You could make easy reads to score touchdown after touchdown. It won't be this simple whether you are playing online or offline, as now you got to be able to react on the fly. Now let's talk about offensive abilities, in specifically the field general ability for quarterbacks. Now, there's different tiers. There's the bronze tier, silver tier, gold tier, and platinum tier. And honestly, guys, they do get better as you go up. So, for example, the bronze tier, it says blitzers are highlighted, but only after the snap. So after the snap, you'll be able to see where the blitzers are coming from to maybe make the quick read and go from there. Silver tier, they can spot players before the snap, but only if they're close to the line of scrimmage, and it's only for a brief moment. Obviously, as you do get to the gold and platinum tier, you'll be able to uncover more of that. But that's something you need to be careful of as a defense. If you're an opposing quarterback has those specific abilities, you got to be careful about sending too many blitzes and making sure to disguise your looks. If a quarterback is able to recognize where the blitz is coming from, they're able to make simple adjustments. If you're, blitzing from a cornerback's position and your safety's rotating over, they can throw a quick screen or hitch route to be able to absolutely get an easy look, easy read, easy first down. If they do see your safeties are blitzing, a corner's up close to the line in bump and run press type of coverage, they're able to throw a simple go route in a one-on-one situation, maybe a back shoulder type of throw for an easy look, maybe even get a pass interference type call. Now, one thing that's important to know with all of this pre-play stuff that I'm talking about is the different controls that you do have pre-play. It looks like you have access to 12 unique routes. So for example, depending on where the defense is positioned, depending on what you see pre-play, you can make a simple read to 12 different combinations based on that. I do think hot routes in the past were just way too simplified. You could make 4 different maybe hot routes, and it was really tough to do depending on what you saw. Now with 12 different unique routes, you should have an answer to whatever the defense is throwing at you. Custom stems, another feature in College Football 25, is super important. So not only do you have 12 different unique routes, you can customize those routes. So for example, if you want to run a hitch route, you can decide how far that you want that hitch route to go. All of these pre-play controls on the offensive end are super important, especially if you do have that floor general ability. You see what's going on pre-play, you make the adjustments, and you will set yourself up for a lot of offensive success. Now, everything I've talked about thus far in this video is all a big time skill gap. And you're gonna be seeing a lot of pre-play chess matches to really try to maximize your positioning in the game. It's no longer just a simple, let me run 4 verticals over and over again and cook the defense. No, you're going to have to be able to make changes, make adjustments to lead your team to success. Now, a lot of people do play offline, and I think this is really where real-time coaching is super important, as an adaptive coaching engine is designed to authentically enhance both offensive and defensive CPU gameplay. So, for example, when you were able to play offline games, it was so easy to pick apart the defense. The AI has access to a full range of adjustments, just like if you were playing somebody else in an online game. For example, if you were running 4 verticals and cooking the defense, they're gonna make adjustments to your pass game to provide dynamic updates. Let's say you ran for 200 yards in the first half. You might notice more guys in the box in the second half to prevent you from running the clock out. I believe all of these things are going to make playing Dynasty mode much more realistic, offline modes so much more fun, even if it is in Road to Glory, because now you've got to outsmart your opponent. It's no longer just running the, go routes, beating your opponent time and time again. You've got to make the adjustments just like the AI is going to. Let's talk about the option game in College Football 25, as they've made an exerted effort to improve on what was kind of a groundwork in our last college football game. Now you've got it in the passing games with RPOs being at the forefront of it. It seems pretty simple. You tap A when you do want to keep the ball, and then the receiver's button when you do want to pass it. If you don't want to, if your read is to just hand it off, don't click anything and you will have success on the ground. In the traditional option game, there's now a variety of ways to pitch the ball. It's no longer just pitching with LB. You've got to determine how quick it goes, how strong of a pitch it is. Speaking of the RPO game, guys, playbooks and team play styles is going to be super important. They've got so many team playbooks. 10 non-team playbooks that range from air raid to power spread to run and shoot. Revamp passing is going to be a key part of College Football 25. If you're anything like me, you'd rather pass the ball 50 times a game than run the ball. I mean, it's just more fun. In all aspects of the passing game, you will have complete control, whether how hard to throw the pass, whether where it's located, on the inside or outside of where the receiver is located. Passing the ball is no longer as simple as clicking a button. You'll notice 3 colors, blue, red, and yellow, and the sizes depend on your quarterback's passing accuracy as well as different abilities. All of these new mechanics make for a much more skillful passing game, which could lead to more success for you or also hinder your ability to throw the football. On the flip side of the ball, the switch stick is introduced for the first time in college football video games. The switch stick is, as stated in the article, a simple but super powerful tool on the defensive side of the ball so that you can switch between defender to defender. You have manual control over everything to make a break on the football for a potential interception. No matter what, guys, you'll have complete control on both sides of the ball. The skill gap in football games have never been this advanced or this strategic. For the casual player, it might not be as easy, but when you do figure out each and every one of these things and how they work, it will lead you to a lot more success. The chess match is at an all-time level. The only question left is, are you ready for it? That's going to wrap it up for our video, guys. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new. And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.